The following program is a real estate and mortgage show and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good evening and welcome to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts Randy and Jackie right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board, send us an email. Our email address is yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of Your Home, Your Money, Randy and Jackie.
Yeah, but Jackie is not here. As usual, just like a woman, she's late. Don't tell her I said that because I really don't want the wrath that comes with that. She's going to be here any moment. She's out on an appointment and she's running late. And that's just how that works. So, you know what? Let me start by saying if you want to talk to me directly and you want to see how I look today, I look pretty dashing actually. But if you did want to, you could go on YouTube and you go on YouTube and then put @YourTeamPros and you will see me. Otherwise to that, if you want to do a email, you can do, what is it? Your Home, Your Money.
101 at gmail.com.
Okay, Your Home, Your Money 101@gmail.com. And then you can email through. I will not read any of your emails, but as soon as Jackie gets here, she'll read them. So load them up. Here's what I want to say. The market is insane, okay? The Bank of Canada lowered the rates, and therefore everything should be good now, right? Because the rates have come down many times. But that's not what's happening. The actual number of sales, now remember, okay, let's go through the years. If we go to 2021, we had 121,000 units. And then we go to 2022, we had 75,000 units. 2023, 65,000 units, almost half of 2021. And then last year, 67,000. Really no difference between those 2 years. We're still at almost 50% less than what we were at before. And guess what's happening now? We are 27% below those low, measly numbers. And the interest rate is dropping. So how is this possible? How is it possible that the interest rate is coming down, so everybody should be happy, right? Something's in my eye. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is what we told you. For all of you guys that are following us, that are listening through my soliloquies, you are hearing the straight goods. You're hearing, actually, I would almost say that I'm almost gifted in my predictions, which is not a good thing because my head's going to swell now because I'm making it swell. But I have told you that the Bank of Canada coming down with its rates is not going to help the marketplace. It's going to help some individuals, a couple, but it's not going to help the marketplace at large. Why? There's this really funny thing that people aren't taking into account, and it's called consumer confidence. Consumer confidence is at an all-time low. Come on in, babes. Come on in, put on your gear, and join the club. Consumer confidence is at, the consumer confidence is at all-time low when it comes to the Bank of Canada. And let me tell you why. the Bank of Canada has basically bankrupted a good portion of Canadians. Tiff Macklin, which I will admit is a very brilliant man. I'm not saying that he's dumb. There's no way. He's way brighter than me. University scholar, university professor in economics in his field. That's where he is. The Bank of Canada, the person running the Bank of Canada, you want to be very versed in this field. Unfortunately, I think he's too much of a game player. Right? So what he has done, he has taken the economics game too far. He learned about different things that central banks can do in order to pull levers, and he's pulled the levers too far. He played this game called quantitative easing, where the bank uses this real fancy system of actually committing, if we did it in I would say in the hood, if we did it back in the day, me and my boys pulled something like this off, it would be called fraud. But because it's the Bank of Canada, it's not called fraud, it's called quantitative easing. Now, just to help you to wrap your head around it for the new listeners, for the people who've been following us for a while, I'm hoping that you've gotten this point by now. The Bank of Canada takes debt, stuff we owe money on, and they take that and they make it a financial instrument. They make it worth money. How do you do that? You and I can't do it. It makes no sense, but they can do it. And how do they do it? Because Canada will pay its debts. They can take that and say, oh, Canada's going to pay debt on that. So if we say that this debt is worth an extra 2, 3, 4, 5%, whatever it is, then you as an investor can buy that debt and we'll pay you an extra 2, 3, 4, 5% on it. And so because of that, they've taken a debt instrument, or, well, money is a debt instrument, but they've taken this debt and they've turned it into a financial instrument called a bond. The Bank of Canada does this. But because it's created by the Bank of Canada, this bond, they can't buy it. Like, you can't create something that almost doesn't make sense and then buy it back. No, you have to have an independent party say that, okay, your debt, your credit worthiness is worth me investing in. You can't invest in your own debt and credit worthiness. It actually defies logic for that to happen. So because they can't do that, that would be fraud. What they do is they say, okay, what we'll do is we are going to put out a separate bulletin. This bulletin is going to list, let's call it 16 different banks or institutions that if you guys on my list buy this debt, I will buy it back from you. Not maybe all of you, but a portion of you, or whatever the terms are, for more money than you paid for it. So you will make money if you buy that. And I'll buy a couple of $1 billion worth, you say the amount, and boom, all of a sudden you get these 16 people buying this debt so that you can, because you're the Bank of Canada, you can actually print money. You don't have to have it. It doesn't have to exist because you're the Bank of Canada. You print money. See, if I buy debt, I got to have the money or the credit, but they don't have to because they can just print it. So They then put out this bulletin and list a bunch of banks that are allowed to buy it, and then they'll give them extra money for it. So the banks buy it. This process of washing money per se, this chair is squeaky, is that it, or Jackie?
No, it's me,
Okay.
sorry.
This process is called quantitative easing, where the Bank of Canada takes debt, makes a bond, has the bank buy the bond, and then the Bank of Canada buys the debt back from the bond, from the banks at a profit, using a currency that doesn't actually exist. It's called a settlement balance. So what a settlement balance is it's where the banks owe the Bank of Canada, or the Bank of Canada owes the banks. They don't have to print money. They can just say, okay, you owe me $5 and I owe you $10, and you owe me another $15 and I owe you another $20, and it's a settlement balance. They can just type up and change the numbers. And this becomes the legal way for the Bank of Canada to buy their own debt instrument. This all sounds fine, and it maybe doesn't sound like anything that really matters much. The problem is that that money now is floating around in the bank's balance sheets, and the banks now have all this excess money that they need to do something with. They can't have it just sitting there. They got to do something with it. So they lend it out. Now, as they lend it out, more and more money is being pumped into our economy. As that money gets pumped into our economy, now you got to imagine a different story. The different story is there's a bunch of people in a field with a whole bunch of chairs, and there's music playing. And the music, when the music stops, everybody's got to grab a chair. The chairs are money, okay? So all these people are running around the field, the music's playing, they're dancing, and there's chairs everywhere because the money is flowing in from the banks, from the central bank, from debt to the banks, and flowing around in a circle. All these chairs are there. The music stops, everybody runs and grabs a chair, and there's hundreds of chairs left over because there's all this money. So the bank is lending more and more money. This influx of money, which before COVID we had, I believe it's somewhere, it was under 100,000. I believe it's 97 billion dollars is under 100 billion. $97 billion floating around our economy. Throughout COVID, it was over 300 billion floating around in our economy. Now remember, nobody was working. Nobody had a job. Well, I wouldn't say they had a job. They had jobs, but they weren't working. So what happened was, and I hope you guys are following me here, is there was so much money floating around. Everybody kind of felt rich, but nobody was working. We were getting stimulus checks. Everybody was staying home. Businesses were closed down. You weren't allowed to go shopping. Everybody had money. You could go and buy a house right there. You could go sell your house. In many cases, you could sell your house at the interest rate that you had, which would have been 3, 4, 5%. You could buy a bigger house at a new 1.7%, and you could pay the same or less money for the bigger house. And at that time, you wanted a bigger house. Why? Because your wife was home from work, and you know what it's like to have to deal with your wife when she's stressed at work. The husband's home from work, and you know what it's like to deal with your husband when he's home from work. And your kids are home from school.
You're lucky you said that.
Okay, and then your kids are home from school. So now you have all these people running around in the house. The
I
house
think
feels
if we put a
small.
poll out there, everybody would say you're the stressed one. stress me.
Everyone is stressed because the kids are running around the house because they're not in school. You're at home, the wife's at home because you can't be at work because they shut that down. And so everybody needs a bigger home, and they can get a bigger home and in some cases pay less money or the same money as keeping the little home. So now you've got real estate prices going crazy because the interest rates are low. And this is what you got. You got money flowing through the economy. Well, what's happening when money's flowing through the economy? Because of this quantitative easing, pumping a bunch of money through the banks and then out through the public. What's happening? Inflation. But it's happening on the back end. It's the exhaust of what's going on. All of a sudden, all of this ends. The Bank of Canada starts raising the rates like crazy. Starts a process called quantitative tightening. What's quantitative tightening? It's the opposite of quantitative easing. It's when they start sucking the money back out of the economy. So those hundreds of extra spare chairs that were there aren't there anymore. All the people are running around in the field dancing. When the music stopped, there's not enough chairs for everyone. So a bunch of people go bankrupt. So the next time the music starts, now everyone's nervous about the chairs because there's not enough chairs, because the money is being sucked back out of the economy. There's not enough money running through the economy. There's no longer almost $400 billion running through the economy. They're going down to 300, going down to 200, going down to 100. That's what's happening. That's what we are all facing. And then the exhaust, which is the fact that the money is actually becoming inflation because so much money was pumped through the system. And don't forget, they actually blamed inflation on us, because what they said is when they allowed us out of our homes, we all went and bought stuff. Well, yeah, we went and bought stuff because we needed stuff. Right? We bought homes, we have families, we need stuff. And they're saying that's what caused inflation. But that's not actually what caused the inflation. What caused the inflation was really the fact that they pumped so much money, the government, anytime the government pumps a bunch of money through the system, inflation happens. I don't care what school you're from, that's what happens. You check it out. The other thing is that now, not only did they pump not only
He's
did
not
they
breathing, people. He's
not
just
only
going.
did they pump all this money through the system, but they broke our economy by breaking the supply chain. How did they do that? They shut it all down. They shut down the factories. You shut down that. Do you think the factories go back to work and everything is working all fine-tuned? No, there's problems. There's problems in getting the merchandise to them to meet the demands and to get back up and running at full speed and all that stuff. It just doesn't happen in a heartbeat. And so because of that, we have supply problems. We have, and what happens if you have supply problems? You have too much demand for the supply, causing even more inflation. That's really what happened. And so now that we got caught up with all that.
Oh, okay.
Now
Somebody asked that question?
Now we look at, like I said, sales went from 121,000 in 2021 down to 75,000, almost half, but in 2022. In 2023, they went down to 65,000. Now we're at half. Now we're at half. And then 67,000 in 2024. And this year, we're down 27%. So sales have plummeted. Not only have sales plummeted, but active listings are up 76%. If listings are high, but sales are low, that's a huge, for any of you economic majors out there, that's a huge, huge down pressure on pricing. But pricing only reduced 2.2%, which means that the market is holding up very strong. but it's still down. That means that home sellers that are trying to sell their home, and a lot of home sellers actually kind of want that price that they saw in 2022 that doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist, and they want that price. And so, but that price doesn't exist. That's 20% lower than that, and now down another 2.2%. Everybody's waiting for the pricing to go up, but the environment has such negative pressure on pricing that there's nowhere for the home prices to go but down. And the fact that they're holding strong and they're only down 2.2% with these kind of conditions is actually miraculous and leads to a lot of speculation why the prices are holding so strong. Sweetheart, welcome to the talk.
Wow.
Hey, listen, you weren't here, so I had to go on my little ramp page.
I don't need to be here, though.
Well,
I don't think I need to be here.
no, I agree, you don't. The audience is obviously, did anybody ask for you?
Well, they told you enough. They said, okay, enough.
Let's see, let's read.
Let's read the emails to Randy.
Yep.
So, if the real estate market is insane, why bother trying to obtain a house? Let's talk sports. No,
The Leafs.
no.
The Leafs.
We're not.
Hey,
Don't ask questions
the
because he's going to
green-
start going again.
The green outfit, the
See?
green, that was awesome.
I didn't even
that,
get through
that,
the
that
emails.
was just awesome. Well, because you got to give them support. They did amazing. They really made us proud of the green outfits.
Hey, I'm
loved it.
Irish background, so yeah, but I really didn't get those green out.
It was awesome. It was just awesome. That's original Leafs jerseys.
I know.
Okay, go on.
I know. Hey to all. Sue says, consumer confidence? What the hell is that? What confidence? In banks? In the government? Fight with Jackie. I like fighting too. That's why I tried, but he just wasn't.
It's
he
not
just
a
kept
fight.
going.
It's like picking on your children. It's not fair.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
Are
I
you
said it.
serious?
I said it.
Are you serious? Everybody fell asleep while you were
beat
talking.
No one fell asleep.
Oh, they did. Oh,
I could
they
see
did.
them through the camera.
A whole
They're
crap
all-
load of people went,
a whole
oh
bunch
my
of people
gosh,
were
let
clapping.
Jackie speak, please.
No.
Somebody quiet this man.
People were clapping. I heard them.
Yes, but
In
what
the-
were they clapping for? To drown you out?
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, they're clapping
It's
so
called
they don't
an
hear.
applause. They're happy. They're
Like,
they
oh, I
love-
can't hear Randy
They
anymore.
love what they're hearing.
So Holly says, I don't think I'm Hockley. Is it Hockley? I
Holly.
hope I don't think it's not Holly.
It is Holly.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Hockley.
I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm
Are
pronouncing
you
it
talking
wrong.
about the Hoktui girl?
No, we're not talking about the flippin' Hawk Tui girl. I wish
Okay.
I was a Hawk Tui girl because she got so many views.
No, you can be.
She'd
babes.
probably get
I'll show you how.
spots.
I'll show you how.
She's probably getting like all kinds of sponsors now.
No, she's in hiding right now because she had a bad situation with the crypto industry.
Oh yeah. She
yeah.
went on the wrong side of the
It
tracks.
wasn't really
anyways.
crypto; it was something else. But anyways,
I don't care about the Hawk 2 lady, girl. Anyways.
I kind of find
Hey,
it fascinating.
again to Jackie and Randy. Best friend, right, Randy? Yesterday, my wife ran away with my best friend, Mike. Since when is Mike your best friend? Since yesterday. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
That makes sense, actually.
But he'd be sad if I ran away with his best friend.
I would be sad.
Yeah. Ray says, this is Ray. Okay, enough. None of us, except a few listening to you, can afford a home. Let's talk politics. Thanks. Oh, Ray,
All right,
politics is almost as bad if you get Randy going. I'm not going to get a
Musical
word
chairs?
in.
Really?
I am not getting a word in. Steve says, musical chairs? Really? How about assholes that run the bank? And am I allowed to say that word, Gary?
Yep, go on.
Am I allowed to?
Yes,
Yes.
you are.
Am
Yep.
I allowed to say those kind of words when people say the F word and all that?
Well,
Yes,
just
you
be
are.
careful.
Okay. Anyways, I'm going to repeat that then. How about assholes that run the bank and government? Check them out.
feel
My
all proud
husband's
of
not
yourself,
impressed
huh?
with me.
You're all proud of yourself?
That's the truth.
Go on, trucker mouth.
Incompetent a-holes and you know it.
Well,
No. Charlie says, hi, Jackie. Do you know how to speak? What the heck does that mean, Charlie? Do I know how to speak? Are you saying because I can't get a word in or I don't know how to speak? Which one is
he's
it?
saying that you don't know how to speak. When you speak, he doesn't understand what you're saying. That's what he's saying.
Okay, fine, Charlie. Charlie. I'm going to name my next dog Charlie. Anyway, Gloria. After Randy's soliloquy, here's my house. Here it is. It's a little house.
It's cute.
It is cute. It's like a garden house. I think it's cute. My new house, I got a deal for just $875,000. Not
Get
bad.
out.
I don't know about
I don't know
those.
about
That's
that one.
Gloria again. Gloria, did you not tell us about doing the container house? Was that Gloria? Who was that? I can't remember who that person was. Anyways.
I don't know. But thanks for coming back. Thanks for reading the emails. Now everybody wants you to be quiet so I can tell another story.
People are subscribing to our YouTube. Thank you so much. We're trying to put some good information out there.
Oh, shoot. We need 8 more subscribers to get to 400.
Yeah, come on, guys. 400. Woo, woo, woo.
If we can get at Your Team Pros on YouTube, if we can get another
I think we
8
can get a lot
subscribers.
more if you and Guy fight a lot.
If what?
If we
Yeah,
fight.
but we don't. We want to give some content, not just fighting.
Yeah, we're at 392.
Yeah, we are.
That's great.
I think
So,
it is too.
Yeah.
It's hard to get followers when you're real estate it's not easy.
Some people are getting them.
It's not
It's
easy.
just that, unfortunately, your stories are boring. Nobody
But you
cares
know-
about them.
You know what? I've been on the go showing property since 10 a.m. this morning, and my last client was a commercial client. And
Play
you know
the
what
violin.
Huh?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I didn't say
It's not
anything.
about how much I work more, the more I work and you don't.
No,
I'm not
I was
talking
just
about that.
asking him to
That's
play some
obvious.
back music.
That's obvious. Anyways, he said to me, he's like, please, Jackie, he owns a cell phone store, repair store. He's got 2 or 3 locations right now, and he's trying to get another one. And he's been trying to get a location in Bowmanville because he lives in Bowmanville. He's got one in Whitby. He's got
There's a
one
big
in
fire
Oshawa.
there. You can,
And he's trying to get one there. And you know what he said to me? He said, you know how long I've been looking for a place? I said, no, how long? He said, 3 years. Do you know how many I found that I liked? And I called the realtor. No, they never called me back, or they called me back and then they just fell off the face of the earth. He says, because they don't make any money
on leases.
doing it.
Yeah, we don't make
And I
money
said,
on
that's
leases,
true.
right.
We don't make any money. He's like, but you responded right away and you got me signed up and we're out. I said, well, I'm not in it for the commission.
And you would
but
get
I
beat
said to
if
him,
you didn't.
because everybody says, oh yeah, you're not in it for the commission. But you know what? I said to him, I said, no, I'm in it for the relationship. I said, if I can do good for you, find you what you want, and you like it, you're going to go around town and talk about me, and not talk about me in that kind of way, you know what I mean? Going to talk about, you know what? Hey, I got this realtor, and she really paid attention to what I wanted, and she jumped into action, and she tried to help. And then you know what he said to me? He said, okay. He's like, help me get this place. He's like, I'll give you some money on the side. I'm like, I don't want your money on the side. I looked at him and his wife, and it's like, he's like, I said, no, I don't want you to give me money on the side. And I'm like, and it's not the first
You're
time.
actually not allowed to take it.
Well, I don't want it though.
But this is the problem that I have. In front of his wife, you asked him for a relationship?
Yes,
What'd she say?
they were into it.
What was she?
They were into it.
Did
She's
you-
like, if you get me this place, hey, I'm okay with anything. No,
Did you
kidding.
take pictures?
Huh?
You take pictures?
I take pictures of what?
I want to know what they look like. I want to know if I want to get involved or not.
Why? You think that you have a choice in who's going to take you?
As soon as they
At
see
this
me,
at
they're
this
going to
point in
want
life,
me to
do
be
you
part of
actually
it.
think you have a choice?
Don't forget, they came through me to you. So obviously, they wanted me, but they took second.
Ah, okay. So Charlie, backtrack. I got it, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. Jackie, I meant you can't speak because of Randy's ranting and raving. He doesn't give you a chance. We love the way that you speak and love your voice.
See, Charlie
Thank
right
you,
there is
Charlie.
backtracking. All I hear is beep, beep.
Yeah, that's
beep.
what you
He's
hear.
trying to help you out. But really, Charlie, she doesn't need the help. We know what you meant. What you meant is she can't speak eloquently like myself. And yeah, we got it. We got it.
What?
But we appreciate you trying to support
So
her.
Frank says, what? Frank says, relationship, WTF. Can you say bankruptcy? Bad business for you. I thought you were in the business of making money. Okay, Frank, so I'm going to tell you a little story. And it's not about me, but it's about business in general, okay? People that go out there, and I'm not talking about just real estate, any business that you are in, that you are dealing with the public, and you are dealing customer service. If you want to be in it for the long haul, you have to be worried about your clients. You have to work for your clients and not worry about the money, okay? And when you work for your clients and you do good for your clients, what do you think they do? They go around and preaching to the choir about you. So what happens, Frank? Because I appreciate my clients and I do good for them, I get more clients and more clients because everybody goes out there and says, hey, Jackie and Randy and their team, they did this, that. And we, well, I got my license in 1999. And since 1999, this is the only business that Randy and I have done. This is, except for a couple investments here and there that we do, but this is the majority of our work, our livelihood. And we've been in it. We don't have, any other, paycheck coming in every 2 weeks or every month or nothing. This is what we do. And the way that we look at our business and the way that we deal with our business has been very fruitful for us because people know that we're not in it for the short term. We're not in it, and you got to look long term. And to look long term, you have to look out for other people. You really do. And, if you do good, and I know you guys are going to say, stop with that. Blah, blah. If you do good, money comes in the end. That's just the way it is. And I'm going to say, if you look out for other people and yourself, the Lord will provide. That's
Here's
all I'm
the
gonna
thing.
say.
The thing is that I agree with everything you said, but it's a business model that people like Frank do not understand. It's different for Frank. Frank believes in Harvard School business, where you go out, you turn sales, you crank them. You learn the language that you need to do in order to make that sale work.
I can't do that. I'm too old to go constantly look for new people.
It's not only that.
Beat the pavement. I can't do
I
that.
wouldn't want to do
and
that.
I'm too old to beat the pavement the other way.
And,
so.
and that is one technique. And I agree with you, Frank. It does work. There are many people that are very successful with that.
Making a lot more money
that
than
is
me,
not
but
what we do. There are other techniques. Do you know, Frank, that there are many ways to do things?
To skin
so
a
there's
cat,
not
Frank.
only just one way. But I do agree with you, for some people it's about turning transactions. And in our industry, that is big. All of our coaches, that's what they teach, turn transactions. And they teach the good language. Every realtor says, oh, well, we care about you. We want to form a relationship. We're honest. We're this and but meanwhile, all of their infrastructure, when you peel it back, is all about driving more sales. In our case, none of our infrastructure is about driving more sales. It's about servicing our clients. And we believe that when we service our clients, that our clients then benefit and they turn around and they refer us to other people. That's just our business model. Whether you like it or believe that it works or not, it has been there for us for over 30 years.
Well, you know what, though? The funny thing is, when a lot of the other realtors are doing very well in the business because something happened and now it's exploded and the buyers are out or the sellers are out, and it's not necessarily advantageous for the buyers to be out, was our worst years we've ever done.
Yeah.
Because our advice was sit on it, don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Even right now.
All those people that went bankrupt, actually, not one of our buyers have gone bankrupt. Not one. But we've dealt with many people that have come in to see us that have all said that their realtor said this, and they are basically bankrupt.
Well, you know
and
what?
so that is
Another
something that we
thing.
can be very proud of.
Here's another thing. So our mortgage manager called me today and said, oh, I got this guy, unbeknownst to me, he went through another broker, went to a real estate agent. Once again, the real estate agent and the broker set him up with everything, told him, oh yeah, buy this house, I can get you the mortgage and that. And what happened to him? He bought the house, put the deposit down, it's firm, and they can't get him a mortgage. And now he's losing his deposit. So how many stories do you hear like that? And I'll be honest with you, just stop touching my phone. Stop touching my phone.
Finish stay focused.
You're-
Talk to the audience.
I got ADHD. I can't stay focused if you're touching my stuff.
That's your next message. Keep going.
Anyways.
Otherwise, I'll take over
So
and you won't be able to
it's
say anything.
almost like, and what happened? We went on the weekend and met somebody again that's in the same predicament, losing their house because they got taken to the cleaners by a mortgage guy. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long you can be in business when you're going around ripping people off like that.
No, you just find new people. You know how many millions of people there are here? They can just keep moving, and that's what they do. But do you remember what he said about the mortgage agent that he used? What did he say about him? What's happening to that mortgage agent?
Well, he's going around doing it to everybody, and he's in
losing,
hiding.
He's losing his house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually,
so,
yeah. He's going to foreclosure. Well, not
yeah,
foreclosure
so-
to states, but
so-
he's going in power of sale as well. But he's still going around collecting all this money from setting up these private mortgages for people, and everybody's losing their house now, and they can't even sell and come out of it with a penny.
No.
They're coming out of it in the
they
hole.
have to write a check.
It's
to
almost
come
like
out
they
of it.
got it. They just walking away, throwing their arms up in the air, and walking away. I don't know. I can't feel good about doing that.
Well, who
can't.
wants that?
But
That's,
Hans says hello to Jackie with the lovely voice. Why, thank you, Hans. And to Randy, the poet. I'm a realtor broker. The last buyer I worked with wasn't that bright. When I handed him an an exclusive buyer agreement, he said, sign here at the bottom. Instead of signing his name, he wrote Capricorn. Okay.
yeah,
So
that's good. That's a good one,
I get
Hans.
it. You're right. It's but I think sometimes they believe too much in the people that are helping them, and they go with the flow.
Well,
But I mean, my last two people that came to me and said, okay, I want to sell my house, but I got to do this. It's X amount, of months down the road before I'm ready. I sent them out all the paperwork, Hands, and it's all signed because they worked with me before. But I get it.
but did they sign their
signed
zodiac sign?
No,
No. Okay.
they actually
'cause it was
signed their
digital.
signature.
I do want to say this though for the public to learn. I guess you know what? Maybe I would actually like to teach them a couple of the real estate sales talk. Okay, one of them is actually foundational. Most homeowners have this thing called the greed factor. So what happens, let's say your house is worth $1 million. That's what a buyer, a reasonable buyer would pay if they had a good agent that would show them the actual value of the property, which it would be hard to imagine that you don't have it, but it does exist out there. And their home is worth $1 million. And so they bring in 3 realtors. One of them shows them all of the evidence. Here's what's selling in your neighborhood. Your home's worth $1 million. The next one comes in there and says, oh, well, you know what?
A few pieces of paper.
A couple of pieces of paper, and says how they're going to do everything and 100 push-ups for you. And the next one comes in with nothing, tells you how your house is worth 1.3.
Who
Well,
you sign
you're
with.
like in love with that person because they're saying, well, these other guys don't even know what they're doing. I can get the most amount of money and that. They got no proof of it, but what they did is they latched on to the greed factor. The homeowner goes with the greed factor thinking this guy knows something that nobody else knows. And their home is stuck on the market. depreciating in value because marketplace is going down, get no play on their home. Every time they talk to the agent's trying to beat them down to an actual price that the home will sell. The house isn't no longer worth $1 million; it's only worth $980 now. Finally, 5, 6, 7, 8 months later, they're down to $1 million, but the house is actually down to $950 at that point, and they're losing money because they fell victim to the greed factor. There's one way out of that. If the person can't prove to you with past sales that that price is possible, they're probably playing you, okay? But you won't know it because the greed factor is so strong that you block out all logic. But if there's one of you out of the two, if there's two of you that own the house, if one of you has some sense to you and are able to not be caught up in the greed factor, you will say the problem is that person did nothing to show me what it is they're going to do to sell the house, never mind how that price could ever be supported. And one of the problems is that the prices that will be supported you don't like, because you love your home.
Well, we all do. We
all do.
We're
I'm
all
the
like
same
that.
way
Come
with
on.
my home.
You
My
think
home's
your
worth
house
the most
is worth
amount of
whatever.
money.
I know.
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
feel that way, but he's like that. I'm not like
Of course.
that. I'm
And
more
it's worth
of
my
a
house is
realistic
special
person.
though. And it is worth more money than most homes, and that's because I've lived in it, and there's a value in that.
For you.
No, for everyone.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to shut you up
You
here.
know, so
Sadie
for
wrote
that
in.
reason-
Sadie, no. So Sadie sent an email. She says, doesn't make sense. So a client refers you to another client, and you do the same thing for that client, etc. When does the money start? Treating clients beautifully is a very good thing, but if you treat a client fantastically and then they refer you to another client that you treat fantastic as well, when do the checks start getting written? So Sadie, I think I may...
On every
Hold on.
transaction.
Yeah, I think I may, when I told my client I'm not in it for the commission, I think maybe it came off wrong. Doesn't mean I don't get a commission, but you know what? If I can't find you a house that I think is right for you and is good value, and that if you ever had to resell it, you're at least going to come out of it making something, or you're not going to lose your shirt, and I got to wait a year to find you that house and for the market to be right, then I don't get a commission until a year later. But for an example, I took out an older couple. I've been taking them out for a week now. They're ready to downsize. Wonderful, absolutely amazing couple that probably thinks I'm crazy because after I showed them the first 3 condos and we were saying goodbye, I'm hugging them. And they probably thought, this girl's schizo, but that's me. I have an old soul, so I love working with older people. So today I said to them, we found a condo that they really liked, and I said, okay, let's slow down. I know you really like it, but I said, we haven't even really put a value to your home. I haven't seen your home. I don't know what your home is going to sell for. I can estimate it off, black and white, but I got to see it. I got to see what it looks like inside. I said, and I know that you told me right from the beginning that the condo you're buying you're buying it through the proceeds of your sale. So I don't want you to get all gung-ho about a condo that's $700,000 or whatever, but we're only going to get 8 for your house, and you're not coming out with anything. So I said, let's do this. Let's stop, think, let me do some evaluation on the condo. Let's go see your home so I can, give you an estimate of what I think based on when you're going to be ready, how much you have to do we have time to do it? It's a lot of factors, right? When you're selling your home, it's not just, let's put it on the market. It doesn't work like that with me.
Okay,
Sadie... I want to finish.
Okay.
I want to finish, and then you can talk to Sadie, okay? Do you know, he texted me when I was on the road, and his text was, okay, Jackie, my 2 kids can come and look at the condo tomorrow at 4:45, or they can look at it X time on Friday. But he says, please, he's like, we want to do this sooner or later. So he's pushing me to get them in so he can buy this condo. And
Okay.
I'm trying to say, put the brakes on, let's reevaluate everything.
So you're not looking after his needs? Is that what you're trying
I
to tell
am.
us?
I got the appointment for
No,
tomorrow,
I'm just teasing.
4:45. But I'm saying, like, he's pushing me
Yes,
to push
I understand.
him.
I understand. But the point is, Sadie, that's not what Sadie said. Sadie said, because you said that you don't make any money from leases, which we don't. And
You
what we
don't.
mean that we don't make any money is that a lease, if it's $3,000, you get half a month's rent, which is $1,500. Then you've got to pay your brokerage
Your
a
assistant, the
portion
team,
portion of
government.
that. So from $1,500 it goes down to $1,200. Then you've got to pay your team, and so from $1,200 goes down to $600. And then you've got to pay the government. So from $600 goes down to $300. So you're not making any money on a lease. That's what she's referring to. It's not the fact that we're saying we don't make any money, because that $300 barely pays for gas or time or any of that
So
stuff.
nobody wants to show
So
a
that's
crap
why
load.
we don't want to do leases. Now, when it comes to a sale of a home at $1 million at 5%, it's $50,000. It gets split between the listing brokerage and the selling brokerage, and then you've got $25,000. Then you split it now with your brokerage. So let's say there's $5,000 off. You've got $20,000. Then you split it with your team. So if $20,000 goes to $10,000, then you split it with the government. The $10,000 goes to $5,000. At least you got a $5,000 check out of your $50,000, depending on how your expenses and all that stuff and what you have with your team. But that's basically an idea. So the difference between $5,000 and $300, that's what she means we don't make any money. So Sadie, what she was saying there is that no, she doesn't really make money. But as you service, so you go and you service this client, where you go out and you spend the time and you help them with a lease, and you're making $300, which you wish you didn't make, because once you take your gas and all that stuff and your time, you feel like you didn't make anything. But they loved your service so much that they sent you their aunt or their uncle or their child, which actually turned out to be a $5,000 check. And that's what she's referring to, Sadie. Yes, the referrals, which our business is based on referrals, that's why we do what we do. For people to love our service and then tell all their friends and family about us and send us one and more referrals in that, so we can make more and more checks. That's like our marketing money. That's like all the other agents that are spending money putting ads in Facebook and all this kind of stuff in order
don't
to
really
make their
do
money. That's how they try to get customers. How we try to get it is by helping our clients while we're servicing them the best that we possibly can, with every possible thing that we can, that they
Because,
need.
don't get me
And
wrong,
then
I
hopefully
like
they
making
will
money.
then turn around and refer people to us.
I'm not saying I don't like making money. I like to make money. I like to spend money.
Well, you have to
I like
make
to
money.
live lavishly. So I'm not saying that, oh, I'm this saint and I'm whatever. But at the end of the night, I can go to bed and feel good about whatever I've told my clients. And I don't have anybody calling me down, you know, a year later saying, what the heck, you told me that this was blah, 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 and it's not so. I don't have that issue, and I don't want that issue.
Yeah, like some of the clients that are coming in and seeing us, they want to press charges against their realtor and their mortgage brokers and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that we're not police. Here's the places you can go for that. We'll even help them to understand the market then and the market now, for them to take with them to go and do whatever it is that they want to do. But we've just been pretty fortunate that we actually kept it real. But more than just kept it real, one of the things I think is really magical is that, you know, a lot of the conversations that we've even had on air, and where we've predicted the marketplace was going to be here, and we predict that it's going to be here for some time, for at least another year. And while other people are saying, oh no, it's getting better, the interest rates are coming down, there's now time to buy. Hey, it's time to buy if you can afford to buy and you're going to weather it long time. But if we had one person say, you know what, no, we're going to sell in 3 years. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is a very, very bad plan. That's not how the market shapes up. And in 3 years, so this year you buy, next year is going to be lower. And then the next year after that, we have no idea. We'll tell you next year what we think, if we can even think of predicting the year after that. And then the year after that doesn't mean, after you take into account real estate fees, land transfer tax, legal fees, and all that stuff, that you can turn around and make any kind of a profit. So that's a really, really, really
And-
bad plan in a downward market.
you know-
So we correct people on these kind of things because we're not interested in the sale. We're interested in our customers, and that's the difference.
And another
Thanks for
thing-
your question, Sadie.
You're being real, like,
What?
real trying to get in. I'm just having fun. I am.
No, I'm just
But
telling
anyways,
the truth.
But
You were
the
just,
reality is that when and we work with a lot of downsizers, and those downsizers, some of them bought a home 20, 25 years ago. It might be the only home they've ever bought. So they've experienced, a real estate sale, a deal once. And now they're coming from a detached home going into a condo, and they don't have a clue what to look for in that condo. They don't know that, hey, I know you love this condo, it's renovated, but look out the window. We're looking at the 401. Look out the window. We're looking at where the garbage gets put. So when you have to go sell later, or your kids have to sell because you left it to them, you're the last one to sell in the building because you're overlooking the 401, or you're looking at the garbage bins from the condo. They don't know. They don't know any better. So is it fair to take them out and they like this one and not tell them everything? Is it fair to sell them something and the resale value on it, if anything happens in the market, is not there? That's not fair. You're taking advantage of these people.
that brings me to one story where we had a client that was looking for a deal. The market was pretty robust at that time. It was hard to get a good deal. And they found a home fully renovated with a basement apartment, absolutely beautiful inside. But across the street was a plaza.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 doors up was a major intersection. And so we said, this looks very attractive to the people who don't know anything about resale. It is attractive only to an investor or to people who don't know any better, which often, if you get a good realtor, we're going to tell you. And we said, for the money that they're asking for, yes, it may look like a good deal, but it's a horrible deal. This kind of a home, you want to be able to pay a lot less for because of its location. The last thing you want to be doing is looking out your front door or back door at a plaza, at a gas station, at these man-made things. What you're looking for is nature. As a matter of fact, as a good rule of thumb, if your home is around things that are built by nature, then your value tends to have an upward push.
Well, hold on. There's a but there.
Yeah.
There's
What's
a but
What's
there.
the but?
Because the but is that if there's some space that is not a ravine, it's not protected, you got to be careful and you got to think what's going to happen to this.
Yeah, but
in
that's
the fut-
obvious. Okay,
no, it's not obvious.
Well, I believe it is.
It's not,
Because you
I
always
showed
want to
these
know what's
people
happening
a condo
around.
and I said to them, but look here, we need to fund it from the city. Is a big building going to go up there?
Right,
Now you've got no view. You're looking into somebody else's bedroom. Come on.
To me, that's obvious.
That's not obvious for some people.
That's true. Okay, no, it's a good point. But the point, my point, and I guess you're right. It's not necessarily obvious to everyone.
I don't know stuff about, I don't know, the economy. Let's just say I'm not an expert in
Or how
finance,
to-
so I can't. If somebody says to me, "Oh, but you have to know that," no, I don't have to know it.
Yeah, like
I'm not a mortgage broker, so no, I don't know everything about that.
yeah, like active listings up 76%, sales down 27%. That may not clue in as that's a downward pressure on price. I get it. So the thing is, my point being is that the natural things are the things that tend to have a more value, and the man-made things tend to decrease the value. And so the more commercial those man-made things are, the further down the rabbit hole it is. If you're going on a main street, as a matter of fact, you have to be super careful depending on the city or town that you're buying in, because if you're on a main street or commercial street, it is possible that you have to do an environmental assessment prior to getting your mortgage. And you wouldn't, and if your realtor doesn't know that, because they don't know what's going on there, like certain Bloor Street and stuff like that here in Oshawa, then you're in a lot of trouble, because environmentals can cost a lot of money. And not only that, it becomes almost impossible to sell after, once you know, because the next person has to get the environmental too. And once you have to get an environmental, you could be looking at tens of thousands of dollars, depending if you have to go stage 1 to stage 2, stage 3. Yeah,
wow.
interesting.
We're almost out of time. I promise next week I'll fight more with Randy.
Well, what
I'm
they
tired
really
today, so.
what they really want you to do is just sit there, look pretty, let me do the talking. That's
Oh my goodness. Okay, is that what you guys want? You
Yes,
want me to
that's what
sit
they want.
quietly and Randy to
and
do all
look
the talking?
pretty. No, they want you to look pretty too, though.
Whoa, okay.
They don't want just.
So we got Mary. Let's read out Mary's email before we're out of time. Mary says, enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show tonight from Buffalo, New York. Be well. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you,
I love
Mary.
it when people tell us where they're listening from. I think it's fun to know. Like now, since they put, like a while back, when they put in all these privacy things, we don't see anything. Before we used to see, we have 2 people in Germany, 2 people, and it was kind of fun to
5,000 people in Canada.
like it was
5,000
but it
in
was
the
fun to say,
States.
hey, you
Yeah,
guys in
one
Germany,
in
like
one in
to
Jamaica.
give
One
people a
guy
shout
in the
out.
coconut tree listening
Coconut
to
tree.
us. That was always nice.
I don't know if he was in the coconut tree listening to us,
Hey,
but
that was my
but
vision.
I did,
That's my vision.
but is your vision?
Yeah, how
Well,
can
I'm
you
allowed
take
to
that
take
away
your
from
vision
me?
away. I can,
You
because
can't-
I
you
can.
can't. No.
Yes,
no,
I can.
no,
I
you
just
can't.
did it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I still have it.
You know what
I still
happened?
have it.
You know what happened? He fell out of the coconut tree on his head.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. I can see him
Go
right
look
now.
it up.
He's up there.
Go
he's
look it up on
drinking.
the
He's
internet.
actually on his 3rd coconut.
No, look on the internet. The guy that fell out of the tree on his head. He was listening to you.
No.
He was listening to you, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" Actually, he purposely fell out of the tree.
When you started talking,
No, when you did.
that's not even funny. You got to work
I
on
think
your
it's funny.
humor.
Come on, guys, you think it's funny? I think
No,
it's
no one thinks it's funny. So
funny. I think
yeah.
it's funny.
So
He fell out because he got like Randy is talking. Oh my God, let me.
Yeah, that's the part that they like.
Yeah.
Bank of Canada rate is 2.75. So, it's dropped below 3.
When is the next? You were
in a
talking
couple
about
of
it
months.
earlier.
We're in
Oh, okay,
June,
yeah.
in a couple of months. So, who knows? People think it's a good thing that the interest rates are coming down.
Well, get pre-approved.
It's actually a bad thing.
Because just because
And
the
it's
interest
not-
rates are at
and
one
it's
point
n-
doesn't mean you're going to get locked in for that rate.
No,
either.
because the interest rates
Right.
coming down is the variable rate.
Yeah.
Right? Consumer confidence. Consumers are not confident in the variable rate. That's what bankrupted a whole bunch of people. They're confident in the fixed rate because they know every month this is what I got to pay. I don't want to get a mortgage that is this amount this month, that amount that month, and it changes like that. There's no predictability for your family. So people want the fixed rate. And the variable rate is what the government announces every few months. That amount changes. And we all saw what happened, and we all know of people who got bankrupt because of it.
Yeah, we're out of
Here
time.
we are.
So I'm going home to make chicken wings.
Well, that's good. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. This was your home, your money, and our lives on realityradio101.com. Bye for
Bye
now.
Thank you for listening to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy and Jackie, right here on Reality Radio 101.